In the last episode, my companions and I had just successfully infiltrated Lyrian's government, and our names were on everyone's lips as heroes. The rush of adrenaline still lingered, and I was basking in the warmth of their admiration. But then, a cryptic message arrived from our enigmatic ally, setting me on a perilous odyssey. The words still echo in my mind. Meet Elara, the cartographer, in the Forsaken City. She holds the key to unlocking the Aethereian archive. I recall the look on my friends' faces when I shared the message, a mix of excitement and trepidation. We knew that tracking down Elara wouldn't be easy. The Forsaken City was a labyrinth of ruins, home to ruthless treasure hunters and hidden dangers. I take a deep breath, mentally preparing myself for the journey ahead. The city awaits, shrouded in mystery and danger. As I venture into the Forsaken City, the air grows thick with an eerie, unsettling energy. I can feel eyes watching me from the shadows. My hand instinctively goes to the hilt of my sword. A figure steps out of the darkness, a hooded woman with piercing green eyes. She introduces herself as Lyra. "I'm here to help you find Elara," she says, her voice low and confident. I study her for a moment, trying to read her intentions. Her gaze seems genuine, but in this city, trust is a luxury I can ill afford. "What's your stake in this?" I ask, my voice cautious. Lyra's expression turns enigmatic. "Let's just say I have my reasons for wanting to see the Aethereian archive." Her response only raises more questions. What secrets drive her? What lies in the archive that she's willing to risk her life for? The city seems to grow darker, as if the shadows themselves are closing in around us. I know I must press on, no matter the danger. With Lyra by my side, we navigate the treacherous streets, avoiding rival treasure hunters and hidden strongholds. The air is heavy with anticipation, and I can feel the weight of the Aethereian archive calling to me. As night begins to fall, casting long shadows across the ruins, I catch a glimpse of a figure watching us from the rooftops. Elara, perhaps? My heart quickens, and I quicken my pace, Lyra keeping pace beside me. We're getting close. Suddenly, a figure drops down beside us, a wiry man with a mischievous grin. "You're looking for Elara, I presume," he says, his voice dripping with amusement. I nod, hand on my sword. He nods. "Follow me." We weave through the winding streets, the man's agility leading us through a maze of alleys and backstreets. Finally, we stop before a nondescript door. "Elara awaits," the man says with a flourish. I take a deep breath, steeling myself for what's to come. The door creaks open, revealing a dimly lit room. Elara's eyes lock onto mine, a spark of determination burning within them. "The journey begins," she says, her voice firm. And with that, our quest for the Aethereian archive takes its first steps into the unknown. But I sense we're not alone. The shadows are closing in. The sound of approaching footsteps echoes through the streets, growing louder by the second. It seems our presence has not gone unnoticed. The adventure has only just begun. Previously, I embarked on a perilous odyssey to uncover the fabled Aethereian archive. Guided by cryptic messages and joined by new allies like Lyra, a skilled warrior, and Aaron, a cunning smuggler. We navigated treacherous landscapes and ancient ruins, discovering hidden artifacts and relics that hold the key to unlocking Lyra's biotechnology secrets. Now, as the footsteps of our unknown pursuers echo through the streets, I stand at the threshold of a new challenge, my heart racing with anticipation. The room falls silent, Elara's eyes locked onto mine as if daring me to take the first step. Then, without a word, she turns and disappears into the shadows, leaving us to follow her trail. Lyra and Aaron exchange a tense glance, their faces set for the battle ahead. I take a deep breath, mentally preparing for the unknown. "Let's move out," I whisper, drawing my sword. The three of us slip into the darkness, our footsteps quiet on the ancient stone floor. The shadows swallow us whole, and I sense the Aethereian archive calling, its secrets beckoning. As we navigate the labyrinthine alleys, our pursuers closing in, I realize that our quest is no longer just about uncovering the secrets of the archive. It's about survival. Weaving through the narrow streets, I catch glimpses of the city's forgotten past. Ancient statues, crumbling temples, and mysterious runes etched into the walls. The air is heavy with the weight of centuries, and I sense that the city itself is watching us, waiting to see if we're worthy of its secrets. Suddenly, Lyra grabs my arm, pulling me into a narrow alleyway. A group of rival treasure hunters, armed to the teeth, emerge from the shadows, their leader, a cold, calculating woman, sneering at us. "You're not the only ones after the archive," she spits, "and we'll stop at nothing to claim it." I glance at Lyra and Aaron, my friends' faces set for battle. "We're not going down without a fight," I say, drawing my sword. The rival treasure hunters charge, and our blades clash in a flurry of steel and sparks. I fight with every ounce of strength, Lyra and Aaron by my side, as the city itself seems to erupt into chaos. In the heart of the melee, I catch a glimpse of Dr. Orion, the reclusive scientist, observing us from the shadows, his eyes gleaming with an intensity that borders on obsession. What drives him to join our quest, and what secrets does he hold about the Aethereian archive? As the battle rages on, I realize that our survival depends on unraveling the mysteries of the archive and the city itself. The stakes have never been higher, and I know that I must confront the darkness within myself to emerge victorious. With a fierce cry, I drive my sword forward, the blade shining like a beacon in the darkness. The rival treasure hunters stumble back, and for a moment the upper hand is ours. Lyra and Aaron stand by my side, our bond forged in the crucible of adversity. Together, we'll face whatever lies ahead, our determination and courage guiding us through the treacherous landscapes of Aethereia. Previously, I ventured into the Forsaken City to track down the elusive cartographer, Elara, whose arcane maps promised to guide us to the fabled Aethereian archive. With new allies like Lyra, a skilled warrior, and Aaron, a cunning smuggler, we navigated treacherous landscapes and ancient ruins, discovering hidden artifacts and relics that hold the key to Lyra's biotechnology secrets. As the rival treasure hunters stumble back, their leader's gaze locked onto mine, a fierce determination burning in her eyes. "This isn't over," she snarls before disappearing into the shadows, her words echoing through the city's labyrinthine alleys. I stand tall, my chest heaving with exhaustion, Lyra and Aaron's faces etched with concern. "We need to find Elara," Lyra says, her voice low and urgent. "We can't stay here." I nod, my mind racing with the thought of Elara's maps to guide us to the archive. As we venture deeper into the shadows, the air thickens with anticipation. I sense we're being watched, the city itself waiting to see if we're worthy of its secrets. Dr. Orion's gleaming eyes seem to be everywhere, as if he's studying us, calculating our chances of success. I quicken my pace, my gaze scanning the alleys and rooftops, my senses on high alert. We're not out of danger yet. Suddenly, I hear a faint whisper, "Alex, this way." Elara's voice, her eyes peeking out from behind a crumbling wall. "Follow me." Without hesitation, I nod, Lyra and Aaron close behind. We weave through the narrow alleys, the city's ancient stones whispering secrets to us. The air grows heavier, the silence punctuated by the sound of distant drums, growing louder with each step. As we emerge into a hidden courtyard, I gasp in awe. Before us lies an ancient temple, its entrance guarded by towering statues, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly energy. "The entrance to the Aethereian archive," Elara whispers, her eyes shining with excitement. "But be warned, Alex, the guardians of the archive will not give up their secrets easily." I take a deep breath, my heart pounding in anticipation. "Let's do this," I say, drawing my sword. Lyra and Aaron stand beside me, their faces set for battle. Together we step forward, our footsteps quiet on the ancient stones as we prepare to face the unknown. Previously, I ventured into the Forsaken City to track down the elusive cartographer, Elara, whose arcane maps promised to guide us to the fabled Aethereian archive. With new allies like Lyra, a skilled warrior, and Aaron, a cunning smuggler, we navigated treacherous landscapes and ancient ruins, discovering hidden artifacts and relics that hold the key to Lyra's biotechnology secrets. But as we stood before the entrance to the Aethereian archive, we knew that the real challenges were only just beginning. As we step into the temple, the air is heavy with the weight of centuries. The statues that guard the entrance seem to grow taller, their eyes fixed on us like sentinels. The drums beat louder, the rhythm quickening like a countdown to the heart of the archive. Lyra's hand brushes mine, a reassuring touch as Erin takes point, her eyes locked on the tunnel ahead. Elara's voice whispers a cryptic warning: the guardians of the Chronos will challenge our worthiness. We move in silence, the only sound the soft padding of our footsteps on the stone floor. The tunnel stretches out before us, disappearing into darkness. I can feel Lyra's tension, her warrior's instincts on high alert as Erin's eyes scan the walls, searching for any sign of hidden dangers. Suddenly, the drums fall silent and the temple is plunged into darkness. The air grows colder and I can feel the weight of the archive's secrets pressing down on us. A figure emerges from the shadows, its features indistinct, like a living shadow. "Welcome, seeker of truth," it says, its tone like the rustling of dry leaves. "I am Chaos, the first guardian of the Chronos. You have come to claim the secrets of the Aethereian archive. But are you prepared to pay the price?" I step forward, my heart pounding in anticipation. "We're willing to do whatever it takes," I say, trying to sound braver than I feel. Lyra and Erin stand beside me, their faces set in determination. Chaos' gaze sweeps over us as if sizing us up. "Then let us begin," it says, its voice dripping with an otherworldly menace. "The trials of the Chronos will test your courage, your wits, and your resolve. Are you prepared to face the unknown?" I swallow hard, trying to clear my throat. "We're ready," I say, trying to sound confident. With a wave of its shadowy form, Chaos summons a spectral portal. "Then let the trials begin," it says, its voice echoing off the walls. "Step through the portal and may the Chronos judge your worthiness." I take a deep breath, trying to steel myself for what's to come. Lyra's hand brushes mine again, a reassuring touch as Erin takes a deep breath, her eyes fixed on the portal. Elara's voice whispers a final warning: the trials of the Chronos will reveal more than you ever expected. With a deep breath, we step through the portal, leaving the relative safety of the temple behind, and into the unknown. Previously, Alex and his companions Lyra, Erin, and Elara ventured into the Aethereian archive, facing the enigmatic guardian of the Chronos, Chaos, who challenged their worthiness to unlock the archive's secrets. Now, as they step through the spectral portal, they are thrust into the heart of the trials where their courage, wits, and resolve will be tested like never before. The portal's icy grip releases us, and we find ourselves in a world unlike any we've ever seen. The sky is a deep, burning crimson, and the ground is covered in a fine, iridescent dust that shimmers like the surface of a gemstone. Strange, twisted trees loom above us, their branches like snakes, coiled and ready to strike. The air is heavy with an otherworldly energy, and I can feel it coursing through my veins like a powerful elixir. Lyra's eyes scan the horizon, her warrior's instincts on high alert. Erin's gaze is fixed on the ground, her smuggler's instincts searching for any hidden dangers. Elara's eyes are closed, her eyes fixed on some inner truth. I take a deep breath, trying to clear my head. "What do we do now?" I ask, trying to sound more confident than I feel. Elara's eyes snap open, her gaze piercing. "We follow the path," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. "The trials are designed to test our resolve. We must trust in ourselves and in each other." With that, she sets off across the crimson landscape, her footsteps leaving behind a trail of glittering silver dust. Lyra and Erin fall into step beside her, their movements fluid and practiced. I take a deep breath and follow, my heart pounding in my chest. As we journey across the crimson landscape, we encounter strange and wondrous sights. We see great, winged creatures soaring through the sky, their feathers glowing like stars. We see cities made of crystal, their spires reaching towards the heavens like shards of divine. and we see creatures unlike any we've ever seen before, creatures that seem to be born of the very landscape itself. But with every step, we're also confronted with challenges that push us to our limits. We're forced to navigate treacherous ravines, avoiding deadly traps and hidden dangers. We're forced to solve complex puzzles, using all our wits and cunning to unlock ancient doors. And we're forced to confront our own darkest fears and to overcome them. Through it all, we're watched by the guardians of the Chronos Chaos and its siblings, who observe us with an unblinking gaze. They are the judges of our worthiness to unlock the secrets of the Aethereian archive. As we near the end of the trials, I realize that the greatest challenge lies ahead. We're approaching a great crystal palace, its doors guarded by the most powerful of the guardians, the Chronos itself. I can feel its power coursing through the air, a living embodiment of time itself. Lyra, Aaron, and Elara, their faces set in determination. "We've come this far," Lyra says, her voice steady. "We can't turn back now." I take a deep breath, trying to steel myself for what's to come. "Then let's do this," I say, trying to sound braver than I feel a hand brush mine, Elara's. "Together," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. With that, we step forward, our footsteps echoing through the crystal palace. We're about to face the Chronos, the greatest challenge of the trials. And our fate and the fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance. Previously, Alex and his companions ventured into the Aethereian archive, facing the enigmatic guardian of the Chronos, Chaos, who challenged their worthiness to unlock the archive's secrets. As they stepped through the spectral portal, they were thrust into the heart of the trials, where their courage, wits, and resolve would be tested like never before. As we step forward, the crystal palace looms before us, its facets glinting like 1,000 tiny mirrors. The air is heavy with anticipation, and I can feel the weight of our fate bearing down on us. Suddenly, the Chronos itself emerges from the shadows, its presence like a gentle whisper in my ear. "You have come so far," it says, its voice like the ticking of a clock. "But are you prepared to pay the price for the secrets of the archive?" With that, the Chronos raises its hand and the palace begins to shift and contort, the walls melting like wax in a furnace. The ground beneath us gives way, and we plummet down a tunnel of swirling colors and lights, the sound of the Chronos' laughter echoing through the void. I reach out, desperate to grab onto something, anything, but there's nothing to hold on to. Lyra, Aaron, and Elara are scattered, lost in the swirling vortex. I call out their names, but my voice is lost in the cacophony of the tunnel. Suddenly, spat out into a small, dimly lit chamber, the walls made of a glittering silver stone. Lyra, Aaron, and Elara stumble in beside me, their faces pale and drawn. We look around, disoriented, trying to take in our surroundings. What just happened?" Aaron stammers, her eyes wide with fear. "I don't know," I say, trying to keep my voice steady, "but we need to keep moving. We can't afford to waste any more time." Elara's eyes are closed, her face tilted upwards as if she's listening to some inner voice. "I think I know where we are," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. "We're in the heart of the Chronos itself. We need to find a way to communicate with it, to convince it to give us the secrets of the archive." "But how?" Lyra asks, her brow furrowed in concern. I take a deep breath, trying to clear my head. "I think I know," I say, a spark of inspiration striking me. "We need to show the Chronos that we're worthy of the archive's secrets. We need to prove that we're willing to do whatever it takes to unlock its power." As I speak, the walls of the chamber start to shift and change, revealing a series of ancient artifacts, each one more mysterious than the last. I can feel the Chronos' presence, watching us, waiting for us to make our move. "Let's do this," I say, my voice steady. "Let's prove to it that we're worthy of the archive's secrets." With that, we step forward, our footsteps echoing through the heart of the Chronos. We're about to face the ultimate test, the final challenge of the trials. And our fate, and the fate of Aethereia, hangs in the balance. Previously, Alex and his companions ventured into the heart of the Chronos, facing the ultimate test to prove their worthiness to unlock the secrets of the Aethereian archive. As they stepped forward, the chamber began to shift and change, revealing a series of ancient artifacts, each one more mysterious than the last. The air is thick with anticipation as we stand before the ancient relics, our hearts pounding in unison. I can feel the Chronos' presence, watching us, waiting for us to make our move. Suddenly, the artifacts begin to glow and the chamber is bathed in an intense, pulsing light. "Choose wisely," the Chronos whispers, its voice like the beating of a drum. "The secrets of the archive come at a great cost. Are you prepared to pay the price?" As the light fades, we're faced with a daunting task: to solve an ancient puzzle hidden within the artifacts themselves. Elara's eyes light up with excitement as she examines the relics, her fingers moving with a precision that belies her uncertainty. Lyra stands tall, her gaze fixed on the puzzle, her hand resting on the hilt of her sword. Erin's eyes dart between us, her face set in a determined mask. And I take a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. We begin to work together, our minds racing with possibilities, our hands moving in a dance of precision and skill. The puzzle unfolds before us, its secrets slowly revealing themselves as we work together in perfect harmony. As we near the solution, the chamber begins to shake and tremble. The Chronos' laughter echoes through the void, growing louder with each passing moment, and then, in a flash of inspiration, it clicks. The artifacts glow bright, and the chamber erupts in a blaze of light and color. We stumble back, blinded, as the secrets of the archive flood through us, filling our minds with the weight of Aethereia's forgotten past. As the light fades, we stand, dumbstruck, our minds reeling with the implications of what we've discovered. We've unlocked the secrets of Lyra's biotechnology and the true nature of the Aethereian entities. But we've also uncovered a darker truth, one that threatens to destroy the fragile balance of power in Aethereia. We stand there, frozen, as the Chronos' laughter echoes through the void, growing louder with each passing moment. We've succeeded in unlocking the secrets of the archive, but at what cost? The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance, and we're the only ones who can prevent the impending doom. As we stumble out of the heart of the Chronos, we're greeted by an unsettling sight: the ruins of the Aethereian archive, now transformed into a battleground. Rival treasure hunters, powerful Aethereian entities, and even rogue factions of the Archon regime have gathered, all vying for control of the archive's secrets. We've triggered a power struggle that will determine the course of Aethereia's future. "Looks like we've got our work cut out for us," Lyra says, a grim determination etched on her face. "We need to move fast," Erin adds, her eyes scanning the horizon. "We can't let them get their hands on this." Elara's eyes lock onto mine, her face set in a fierce determination. "We'll need to forge alliances, gather allies, and prepare for the battles ahead." I take a deep breath, the weight of our quest settling squarely on my shoulders. "Let's do it," I say, my voice steady. "Let's show them what we're capable of." With that, we step forward, our footsteps echoing through the ruins of the Aethereian archive. We're about to face the greatest challenge of our lives, one that will test our courage, our wits, and our resolve. But we're ready. We're ready to fight for the future of Aethereia, and to ensure that its secrets are never misused again. Previously, Alex and his companions unlocked the secrets of the Aethereian archive, but at a great cost, triggering a power struggle that would determine the future of Aethereia. As we step forward, the weight of our quest settles squarely on my shoulders, the fate of Aethereia's future hanging precariously in the balance. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the shadows, cloaked in darkness. "You shouldn't have done that," the figure hisses, their eyes fixed on me with an unsettling intensity. "You've unleashed a power that will consume Aethereia whole." My instincts scream warning bells as the figure raises a hand, summoning an otherworldly entity from the depths of the Aethereian ruins. The air thick, malevolent presence of the entity washes over us, making my skin crawl. "You've triggered a countdown to Aethereia's demise." The figure sneers as the entity begins to grow in power, its presence threatening to destroy everything we've fought for. With our bond and determination forged in adversity, we must face this new threat head-on, racing against time to stop the countdown and find a way to reverse the damage. The stakes have never been higher, and our journey is about to take a dark and treacherous turn. Previously, Alex and his companions had unlocked the Aethereian archive, triggering a power struggle that would determine Aethereia's fate. However, their actions had unintended consequences, unleashing a malevolent entity that threatened to destroy everything they had fought for. As the entity's power grows, the air thickens with an eerie energy. I feel my companions' fear, their uncertainty palpable. I know I must act, to reassure them, to lead them out of this darkness. But how? The entity's presence is suffocating, making it hard to think. Suddenly, I remember Dr. Orion's words. Aethereia's secrets lie not in the archive but in the hearts of its people. I look at my companions, at Lyra and Aaron, and I know what I must do. We need to get out of here now, I shout, grabbing Lyra's hand. We'll find a way to stop the countdown, but we have to leave now. As we flee the ruins, the entity's cries echo through the desolate landscape. I can feel its presence like a dark shadow following us. We don't dare look back, fearing what we might see. Finally, we reach the outskirts of the forsaken city, the familiar streets a welcome respite from the horrors we've faced. But I know we can't stay here for long. The entity will find us, and next time we might not be so lucky. I glance at Lyra, her expression determined. We need to find a way to reverse the damage, I say, my mind racing. We need to find someone who can help us. Lyra nods, her eyes scanning the streets, searching for any sign of hope. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the crowd, a hooded figure with an air of mystery. You're the ones who've been stirring up trouble, the figure says, their voice low and gravelly. I might have information that can help you, but it'll cost you. My instincts scream warning bells, but I know we have no choice. We have to take the risk to trust this stranger if we want to save Aethereia. I nod, a sense of resolve settling in. We're willing to take the risk, I say, my voice firm. What do you want in return? The figure pulls back its hood, revealing a face I've never seen before. My name is Kale, the figure says, and I want you to retrieve something for me, something that's been lost for centuries. The chronosphere. I feel a shiver run down my spine. The chronosphere was a myth, a legend, a relic of Aethereia's past. If it exists, it could hold the key to reversing the damage. But at what cost? And why does Kale want it so badly? I look at Lyra, at Aaron, and I know what we have to do. We have to take the risk to trust Kale, and hope that it's not too late. Previously, Alex and his companions had unwittingly unleashed a malevolent entity from the Aethereian archive, and now they must flee the ruins to prevent its destruction. As they escape, they meet a mysterious figure named Kale, who claims to have information that can help them reverse the damage, but only if they retrieve the chronosphere, a mythical relic from Aethereia's past. As I gaze into Lyra's determined face, I can sense the weight of our mission settling in. The chronosphere, a legend, a myth, a relic capable of bending time itself, and Kale wants it. But why? And at what price? I glance at Aaron, her eyes fixed on Kale, her hand resting on the dagger at her waist. She's calculating the risks, weighing the benefits. I know that look. It's the look of a survivor. And I know that I must trust her instincts. Tell us more about the chronosphere, I say, trying to keep my tone from betraying my doubts. What is it exactly, and where do we find it? Kale's gaze drifts into the distance, as if remembering a long-forgotten tale. The chronosphere is an ancient Aethereian artifact forged from the essence of time itself. It's said to hold the power to warp the fabric of reality, to bend the course of history, and I know where it is. His words hang in the air like a challenge, a gauntlet thrown. I can feel Lyra's hand tightening on mine, her grip a silent message of solidarity. We'll do this together. Where is it? I ask, my voice firm. Kale's smile sends a shiver down my spine. In the heart of the underworld, where the ancient Aethereians once dwelled. The path is treacherous, fraught with forgotten dangers and rival treasure hunters. But if you succeed, you'll have the power to undo the damage, to rewrite the fate of Aethereia. I glance at Lyra, at Aaron, and I know that we have a choice to make. We can take the risk, trust Kale, and embark on a perilous journey into the underworld, or we can turn back and face the wrath of the entity. I look at Lyra, and I know that we have no choice. Well, take the risk and hope that it's not too late. What's the catch? Lyra asks, her voice sharp, her eyes narrowing. Kale's gaze drifts to the shadows as if searching for something. There's a complication. A rival treasure hunter named Erebus who's been seeking the chronosphere for years. He's ruthless, merciless, and will stop at nothing to get it. Erebus. The name echoes in my mind like a warning bell. I know that we have to be cautious, to be prepared. I glance at Lyra, at Aaron, and I know that we're ready. We'll face whatever dangers lie ahead together. We're in, I say, my voice firm. We'll retrieve the chronosphere. Kale's smile widens, his eyes glinting with a sinister light. Excellent, he says. I'll give you the map. But remember, time is running out. You have 3 days to retrieve the chronosphere, and if you fail, the consequences will be catastrophic. I take the map, my gaze on the worn parchment, the intricate symbols etched into its surface. I feel a shiver run down my spine. 3 days. It's a tight deadline, but I know that we can do it. We have to do it. For Aethereia, for our future, and for the hope that we can reverse the damage. I glance at Lyra, at Aaron, and I know that we're ready. We'll embark on this perilous journey into the underworld and we'll face whatever dangers lie ahead. Together previously, Alex and his companions had embarked on a perilous journey to retrieve the chronosphere, a mythical relic capable of bending time itself, to reverse the damage unleashed by the malevolent entity from the Aethereian archive. Kale, a mysterious figure, had set them on this path, warning them of rival treasure hunter Erebus, who would stop at nothing to get the chronosphere. As I unfold the worn parchment, the map of the underworld stares back at me, a labyrinth of ancient tunnels and hidden chambers. Lyra's hand tight on mine, her grip a message of solidarity as we embark on this perilous journey. We descend into the underworld, the air thickening with the weight of forgotten centuries. We navigate the cramped tunnels, our footsteps echoing off the walls as we delve deeper into the heart of the underworld. Kale's map guides us, leading us through hidden chambers and ancient ruins, the symbols etched into the walls whispering secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past. Suddenly, Lyra's grip on my hand tightens. Wait, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. I freeze, my heart pounding in my chest. The air is heavy with anticipation, the weight of the underworld pressing down on us. What is it? I ask, my voice barely audible. Lyra's gaze is fixed on the tunnel ahead, her eyes narrowed. I sense something, she says, her voice laced with caution. A presence, lurking just out of sight. My heart skips a beat as I scan the tunnel, my eyes straining to see what Lyra sees. The tunnel stretches out before us, empty and silent. But I know Lyra's instincts, I know she's sensing something. Erebus, I whisper, my hand instinctively moving to the dagger at my waist. Lyra's gaze doesn't waver, her focus fixed on the tunnel ahead. Ready? She asks, her voice a challenge. I nod, my heart pounding in my chest. Aaron moves to our flank, her eyes fixed on the tunnel, her hand resting on the hilt of her sword. We're a unit, a force to be reckoned with. Together, we move forward into the unknown. Previously, Alex and his companions ventured into the underworld, following a map that would lead them to the chronosphere, a powerful relic capable of bending time itself. Their journey was fraught with danger as they navigated treacherous tunnels and ancient ruins with Erebus, a ruthless treasure hunter, hot on their heels.